Hello, 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 sellers. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We're going to talk about making room for success. I was reading that today in an email from somebody, and I went, it just stopped me. And I'll tell you why. So come on in, coming in, get settled. And this is going to be good for whether you're new to eBay or more experienced, because I'm including tips for all levels. But I thought about that. It made me stop because as a seller, and when I work with sellers, typically when sellers come to me, it's with a situation. They're looking to scale their store. They're looking to talk about inventory sourcing. They're looking to optimize their listings, a lot of different things about their eBay. They're on another platform and they're looking to come to eBay and they want to know what they need to do to optimize the listings that they're bringing in, all kinds of things like that. So it's very specific. It's typically tied to sales. And we'll talk about it. But this was so interesting about making room for success. So what I thought about first off is just briefly think about what is your definition of success. And typically sellers I speak with, it's money. It's sales, right? We're sellers. The way we evaluate how we're doing is we log into eBay and we're in Seller Hub or you're on the app and you're looking at how many sales do I have? How much money have I made today? How many things do I have to ship? We're looking at our sales. And absolutely, that's a part of success. But the other thing to think about is lifestyle. And I know for myself, when I first started selling years ago, what I was looking for was something very flexible and part-time. I was not looking to be a full-time eBay seller. And if you're joining me and you don't know my story and you don't know the sellers that I work with a lot of part-time sellers that were extremely successful. In fact, I was just out in San Jose at eBay for 3 days as eBay's guest. It was great fun. And one of the sellers I spoke with is a part-time seller. And they are very successful as a part-time seller. They have a full-time job that they have because of benefits, which are good things to have. And they have a thriving eBay business and it's part-time. So being a successful seller is not about how many hours you spend on eBay. It's about, is eBay fitting what your specific needs are? Hi, Paula, how are you? So that's something to think about. For me at the beginning was I needed something with enormous flexibility because I was dealing with my mom who was sick and who was in and out of the emergency room a lot. So I literally needed to be able to, whatever, work thing I was doing, to be able to drop it and go, just go. If you have elder care needs, if you have special needs kids, you'll understand that. And also if you have a great job that has great benefits, but you really have, a seller yearn, you want to do some selling. It's great to be a part-time seller on eBay and welcome. But just to take a minute, because we get so busy listing and shipping and selling and studying and social media, just to think about what is success to you. And it's going to be different for everybody. I'm not a cookie cutter eBay selling coach. It's very much, what is it for you? And then when I work with sellers, supporting you in the choices that are right for you. So when I heard the phrase, make room for success, the first thing I thought about was, do you physically have room, right? Wherever your inventory is stored, is there enough room? And for me, so for instance, so I got back from San Jose, and this happens to me often when I travel, because I've been in a different place and I've had myself and my things arranged in a different way. And also being on the eBay campus and walking around, and you sort of see the physical layout of a lot of things. And yes, it is an office space, but I came home and I had gotten some ideas from seeing things. I'm very much a visual learner, and started reorganizing. Also, because what happened for me as I was getting ready to leave for the trip was I was working on various projects and I sort of was throwing things into piles and I wasn't really organizing. And it was just sort of like, well, that's going over there and that's going over there. And I just sort of piling things up. I had ordered some shipping supplies. I had some inventory coming in because I do source some things wholesale. So I had a bunch of boxes and a lot of things to deal with when I got home. So the first thing is I want to encourage you, whether you're new to eBay, more experienced, and we're in the middle of fourth quarter, but to quickly look around, is your space set up in a way that supports you and your business. I actually got into an inventory area in my home office and reorganized it to make it easier to pull and pack things. So the 20 minutes I spent reorganizing that area will now give me, oops, I knocked him on my egg, sorry about that, will give me easily, when I pull and pack those items, easily make it 3 to 4 minutes faster per item to pull and pack. And if you're adding, let's say, like 5 minutes a day back into your schedule because of the way things are organized in your office as far as pulling your inventory or grabbing your shipping supplies or having your shipping station set up, I'm doing this like the poly mailers, the tape, I sort of line things up, is if you're even saving 5 or 10 minutes a day, let's say 10 minutes a day, by some quick reorganization, that's in a 5-day week, that's 50 minutes a week. That's almost an hour. Okay. That's a lot. 50 minutes handed back to, and I know Paula was listening to me, to Paula, to me, to anybody. I'll take the 50 minutes. Why? 50 minutes, that's more time with my family. 50 minutes, that's more time for sourcing inventory. 50 minutes, that's more time for posting on social media. 50 minutes, gosh, I can, grab a webinar or listen to a YouTube or a podcast like this and increase my eBay knowledge. So yes, it's important what we're sourcing. And yes, it's important, optimizing our listings, but it's also important to think about your workflow. One of the people that I so enjoyed watching on TV, I think it was on cable, was Marcus Lemonis. And the show that he had, if I remember correctly, The Profit, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, Profit. I'm going to Google it right here if I've got my phone. And the thing that I loved when I would listen to him was he would talk about, let me just look up Marcus Lemonis. He would talk about people, having the right people that are working with you. And for most eBay sellers, that's us. So it's like, okay, it's me. Process, your work process. And this usually was a huge part of, hang on, let me just see what, it is The Profit, Profit, was the process was usually a huge portion of the show. Okay, because he's typically working with brick and mortar retailers because that's where the money would get lost, which was, increase your margin. So your margin is how much money you make. There's the cost of your item. And then there's your expenses, that's your shipping, eBay fees, okay? And then what's left is your profit. And your margin is how much you're paying, and then your costs, and then how much is left. That's your profit margin. And so he was always working to increase the profit margin. For brick and mortar retailers, typically that was their workflow, but it can be for us too, because again, I get 50 minutes back in my week or an hour back in my week. Let's say in an hour, I'm a slow lister. So let's say with that hour, I list, I'm just going to go low on this, 3 things. Okay. And I'm including like doing the research. Okay. I list 3 things. So let's say in my hour a week, I am able to list 3 more things, right? We're making room for success. And for most of us, success, we're going to be looking at our sales. So let's say I list 3 more things a week. Okay. That's 12 things a month. And let's say you're even making, I'm going to go low on this. So let's say, you're making $20 on each of those things, or you might be making $10. And for those of you with bigger margins, you might make $30, but let's say $10. So that's 3 things I'm able to list, 12 things a month. That's 12 more listings that can potentially sell. And also don't forget that when you put listings up, and of course you're researching your keywords, nice pictures and everything, that's 12 more things a month, or 15 or 20, depending how fast you list, of more customers coming in and looking at your listings. What can be easily forgotten while we're making room for success is that when you put more listings up, and again, we're not just throwing listings up, okay, because I'm not into that. It's not just throwing spaghetti on the wall. It's I've researched, So I've got good keywords, which is like good titles. It's keywords, words that shoppers use when they're looking for my item. Good pictures. I've looked at what attracts shoppers. I take a look at what other people are doing so I can learn from that, or perhaps stand out a little bit from what everybody else is doing. But that's 12 more potential listings a month, or 15 or 20 or 25, depending on how fast you work, that bring shoppers to your items. This is the power of getting a few more listings up every week, every month. Again, without rushing, without stressing, and optimizing, is typically more listings will bring you more shoppers. I shop on eBay almost every day. Okay. So I might come in looking at, and for my husband, so I'm looking at, thinking of a brand he likes. So he likes Nike, he likes Under Armour, he likes Greg Norman golf shirts. So I might be looking at and I'm in your eBay store, or I'm looking at your listings, and I come in on a shirt. Okay. Men's large Nike shirt, dry fit. Okay. I'm going to look and see if you've got others, because that saves me time, right? So if you've got more than one, and then maybe you've got a promotion. So if I buy more than one, I'm getting a little bit of a deal. Yay. I'm definitely going to be looking for that, right? Is that one shirt you got listed, that red shirt that I was looking for, is now bringing you traffic for your green shirt, your plaid shirt. And then maybe I'm going to hop over and check out your hand creams, your perfumes. Then I'll check out a little bit of holiday decor. This is November of 2022. I'm going to date this. I might, let me just take a look at the holiday decor. Why? Just like you do when you go into any kind of store, right? Come on. I'm sure this happened to you, right? You go into the supermarket. I'm going to pick the grocery store. I go in and I need a quart of milk. That's why I'm in. I'm going in for the quart of milk. And when I'm there, I go, oh, those tomatoes, they look so good. Oh, that mum plant, it's so pretty. That'll go perfect in my living room. And sure enough, 15 minutes later, I'm leaving with the mum. I'm leaving with the tomatoes, and I probably grabbed a few oranges too because they looked really good, and my quart of milk. Okay, so that's what the listings are about. A store can absolutely help you, and it's because you get store categories, you get promotions, but listing without a store, it's a little more work, but definitely they're going to scroll through and take a look. Okay, so that's why listing more, again, not spaghetti on the wall. That's why listing more can bring you more customers, can bring you more sales. You're just upping the ante. If I've got 50 listings up rather than 30 listings, that's 20 more listings that can bring me shoppers, and they can get me sales as it goes up and up. I don't want anybody stressing. I don't want you rushing, right? So reorganizing an area, and it can be your shipping area. It could be where you store your mugs, okay? I've got my mugs on a shelf. For me, it's just easier. They're all there. When I have a lot of mugs, right now I don't, but when I have a lot of mugs, I may sort them by color, because then I could just go right to the red mugs, right to the blue mugs, right to the green mugs. I might sort them by size. I was at an eBay friend's house who sells a ton of puzzles and games, and she stores them on shelves in her basement. So it's on shelves, and she alphas the puzzle by the name of the puzzle. And the same thing with the game. So again, you're going to work on what, because that way she goes right to it. It's in alpha order. It does take work to set up. And then when you get something new, you're gonna have to maybe perhaps re-alpha a bit, but you just slide it in where it goes. And maybe that little bit of work, but it saves you so much time. And particularly when things get busy, which it does for most sellers in November and December, but your busy time might be Valentine's Day. Your busy time might be Mother's Day. That's the great thing about selling on eBay. You discover what your times are, is just taking those few extra minutes to set up your inventory in a system that works for you. And that's why everything works differently for everybody. Is that if you save yourself half an hour a week, 50 minutes a week, that's more listing time, that's more research time. You can take a workshop to improve a skill that you want to work on, and that just increases your abilities as a seller, and we all have different strengths. Okay. So don't feel like, oh, we all have different strengths. I'm a woman that literally like 18 years ago, I could not click a mouse, and I'm totally serious. I went and took a computer skills class. Now I'm clicking away. I'm even using wireless mice. I'm on the laptop and I'm using the finger thing. So it's like, oh, look at this. But why? I went and took a class because I couldn't do it. And I wanted to learn. And that's another thing about making room for success. You are making room. It is effort. It takes work. It doesn't just fall on you, but you can have fun while you're doing it, fun reorganizing. I was watching my granddaughter the other day. She was like dancing around. It's like, put on good music, have fun. You can enjoy this. There's no thing that says you have to suffer, while you're reorganizing your inventory or your shipping. Put on some music, have fun. I love to play holiday music this time of year. It just makes me feel more festive and have more fun. So take a look at, as you're busy doing what you do for your eBay, make room for success. Does your room, does your setup, does it support you for success? And a great way to increase your success in sales, again, is bumping up your listings. But again, don't stress yourself, because even getting up 5 more listings a week, 3 more listings a week, again, that are research and optimized, it brings more eyeballs to all of your listings. Okay. And that's why doing even huge variety sellers, because again, we're variety buyers, right? You don't just buy one thing. I have a variety in my home. I have home decor. I have clothing. I have health and beauty. I've got, we have hobby things, right? We have games. We have all kinds of things. So again, soup to nuts sellers, right? That puzzle brings the person in who then is looking at your shirts, and then they're looking at your board games, and then they're looking at your jewelry. So don't feel like, oh, I'm soup to nuts. Well, soup to nuts works. Think of how many stores, and I'm in the United States, but how many stores in the United States, they sell a variety. There are ones that niche, there's the sporting goods stores, but even within sporting goods, there's a big variety. There's women's clothing. There's a big variety of things that can be offered. So just realize that the one thing brings traffic to your other things. So don't put yourself down like, oh, I only got 2 things listed today. Good for you. Those 2 things will bring traffic to your other listings. And if you're new to eBay, yay, you got 2 listings up. Good for you. As you list, you will grow, you will learn, and you'll discover the wonderful place that eBay is. And right now it is fall, winter. There's a lot of different things that sell this time of year. And what can happen for some sellers is we're used to what we shop for, right? So this time of year, I might shop for sweaters, or I might shop for mittens and gloves. And I forget about the things that other people shop for because I don't shop for them, or my friends don't shop for them, but other eBay buyers do. There's a huge array of things right now that sell. So that when you're outsourcing, whether you're at thrift shops or, you're having friends offer you things like, hey, I just want to get rid of this. Would you like to take it and sell it on eBay? You're in retail stores and you're doing what's called retail arbitrage, which means you're buying to resell. You might overlook certain categories because you're just not familiar with them. And that's why I've put together a free guide for you. It's called, it's my Fall Winter Essential Products Guide. Let me pull this up for you. It's on my website. It's completely free. So just hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com. And what you want to grab is Fall Winter Essential Products Guide. Tons of you have grabbed this, and I'm so glad it's helping everybody. I'm getting the nicest comments on this, so I'm so glad it's helpful. It's free. It's pages and pages and pages of what's selling right now. This will help you when you're looking at your unlisted inventory and going, oh, I'm not sure what to be listing right now. This will help you prioritize what to list now so that it'll increase your sales. Again, making room for success. It's great to have unlisted inventory. It's like, yay, I have things to sell, but it can be hard sometimes to sort through it and prioritize what should I be listing now? What is most likely to sell now? What is most likely to bring me revenue now? Because that's always something I want to keep an eye on, is what's going to be bringing me traffic. Because again, they're coming in on the one item and then they look at my other items. So hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, and grab Fall Winter Essential Products Guide for yourself and make room for success, my seller friends. I'm Kathy. and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.